We shall be returning in 19 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, with our special grunge episode. See you soon. Live.
Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour, Episode 5. Thank you for joining us. Yeah! Float off in the Milky Way. That's a revolution, man. It's trying to really understand. The truth of our issues is to heal under the vision. Join our Peasant Revolution Band. Join our Peasant Revolution Band. Join our Peasant Revolution Band. Come join our Peasant Revolution Band.
and let's kill that audio. There we are. Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Dodge, and thank you for joining our Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. This is actually episode 5, and we kind of seem to be moving into this motif where Trench Digger Productions they're trying a new thing where it's like every last Tuesday of the month seems to be how they're, I don't know. We just do what the studio tells us. But along with me on my wonderful show, I have the fabulous Mr. Steve Fingers Sabila on the bass guitar and Mr. Rockin' Rich Reese on the drums. And Mr. Steve Fingers Sabila on the bass guitar, and well, he's somewhere in there. You can see his fingers. There he is. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a handsome man right there.
So this is an exciting episode for me. I've been planning this for a while, and my beautiful wife has shorn my locks for this episode. For this is our tribute to the grunge era, which it's at least my tribute. I've kind of just held everyone hostage to go along with this idea.
Kind of like the grunge era itself.
Right, because you needed to get that cynicism out there against the 60s, and we were born. That's Gen X, and I have all sorts. This is where we're essentially talking about this kind of 89 to 94 period. How old were you for that, Rich?
I was like 2 to 6.
You so young. You millennials. You have no idea what we went through to build this country.
You'll notice I have my iPhone out right now. That
iPhone would have been a Sony Walkman tape cassette in our era.
A what?
Yeah, exactly. And then grunge changed all of that. And in the way grunge and it's kind of a weird thing because they they attributed a lot to Seattle, okay? But it's not really Seattle, okay? Portland is a very fundamental upbringing to the whole. It really started here in Portland, Oregon. In fact, I don't want to brag about this, Rich, but there's like this one time I was like wearing this particular red flannel shirt in Seattle.
Wow.
And it was like 1990, 89 or something, and
right. Somebody like try and throw a fish to you or something? Or?
Yeah, I was on the dock. I was over there by what's that whole
Ivers?
Oh, the beautiful marina thing there.
Clam?
I can't think of it. What's that restaurant, honey, that we always eat at? The Pike Place Market. That's what I'm thinking of. Oh, the fish market at Pike Place. Isn't that great? I was at Pike Place. A kid named Kurt says, "I dig your shirt." I'm like, cool. And, the rest is history. It comes from Portland, okay? It comes from Portland.
Wow.
So that's my grunge story for, and I hope people will learn the truth about all of this. So moving on, our last song was indeed, is our one of our top commenters, Robert, mentioned. It was the Wipers, a Portland band featuring Greg Sage. I was turned on to this song by a friend of mine that was a bass player. I had this, Steve got really big in this period. In fact, Steve, didn't you jam with Heat Miser or something at this point? The early 90s?
Oh yeah, that was a great experience.
Heat Miser. I was jamming with nobody, so I ended up hooking up with these cats called WoooKey, and Chris Soine was the bass player. And let's do something funky here. I'm gonna go ahead and show us what I was doing in about 1994 in a band called WoooKey, and we were trying to create the sci-fi grunge genre. Sci-fi grunge, I think is what we were going for, but here it is. Anyway.
Is Richard Dreyfuss in the audience? I guess not. That's okay.
You know, he never shows up to our shows. He always says he's coming, but he never shows up.
Yeah, exactly. Richard Dreyfuss, Will Ricardo, all those old movies. Close Encounters. Close Encounters. Terry Garr. Holy mackerel. Blow my mind away, Terry Garr. I think it's working for the Empire.
You want to know?
The song is dedicated to all the workers out there. It's called Working for the Empire. Yes, everybody.
Go out and mill around in the crowd. Look at the audience.
Razor sharp passion can let you down. So tired of last night running round. Feeling hot and heavy that sound. Work for the empire, work for the empire now.
And hey, you know, the funniest thing about all this is that I believe we have,
Yep.
Yep, that's right. The interns told me that we have the lead singer, Mr. Nad. No, Dan. Dan, is that you?
That's me, yeah. Hi.
Dan, how are you?
I'm doing great. I live in Los Angeles now. Anyways, it's a hot night. I give a cool Portland town a call and check in on you guys. And, just, you got questions about the grunge era? Well, I was there. And I was there. I was,
How old were you?
I was, 21. A lot of people at this time, people were changing scenes. And at the time, I was in Monmouth, so people would think, Salem. And,
Monmouth, is that by Cleveland?
No, Monmouth is more like by Rickreal and stuff like that.
Okay,
Dallas.
okay. Well, I think our drummer Rich Reese was in Salem during this time.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
What was your grunge influence?
Real quick, I wanted to point out that I did raise my hi-hat up here once you reminded me that it is grunge night. So my hi-hat is now about 18 inches higher than my snare drum.
That's amazing.
Right. I just wanted to be true to the era.
And all you kids out there watching, ages like 9 months to 73. That's what grunge was about. Is you can go from hi-hat up, because we're saying something. We're saying screw you MTV, screw you. We don't need your MTV too. We just want to watch reality TV, Kardashians. What do you say, Dan?
Back then you could make your own clothes, or you bought clothes. But when you bought clothes, like I, going from like the 80s and into the 90s, I had what people would call knickers, or they looked like jams, and my jams eventually,
Lederhosen or something, or
no, just like jams, and I was wearing those, and anyways. They were like blue and with like a gold stripe on them, I remember.
What made you guys hire me as your guitarist?
Well, I was thinking about it, and
because Steve was out there jamming with Heat Miser, and I decided to jam with you guys instead.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you why. I remember having this conversation. I think it was with you.
Yeah.
And it was Scorsese's Doors movie had come out just a few years earlier or something, or maybe just around the same time. And that's that whole scene of
the Doors movie, right? Yeah.
Right. So you got Morrison though.
You
right?
you not only have Morrison, you have Val Kilmer and Oliver Stone doing weird shit.
But
Can I say shit? Is it all right?
But you got Morrison, and he's not looking at the audience, and it's just like, and you said to me, man, you can do this shit. you can do this shit. You don't even have to look at the audience. You can just do this shit.
Yes.
And you got songs, you got stuff, you got you're a working class hero. You got kicked out of college. You got some stories here to tell.
Right.
It's just like. And then,
see, I feel like the way I remember it is you weren't quite convinced from the Doors movie alone. I remember it as seeing J.R. Pella of this band called, not Completely Grocery, what were they called? Drunken Abbeys. Drunken Abbeys playing at Belmont's. What a great frickin' band. Great freaking band. And J.R. Pella, who I got the privilege of meeting in person not too long ago, he still rocks it, doing his thing in Portland. But that was an amazing band, and I was telling you that is a fallback. I was like, look, you can do that, Dan. You can do that.
And then what's crazy about this is this.
Believe me, you can do that.
You bring it up. Then you talk about. I'm gonna just mention another. Just not to name drop here, but Clint Sargent, though. Clint Sargent, who.
It sounds familiar.
you remember him, I'm sure, but it's been a while. Anyways.
I don't know, man. I mean, I've met so many people. It's like this, what? Like,
wait. Is
wait,
it
this painting rings a bell. This painting kind of rings a bell. Anyway, what are you saying?
Anyways, but you had the groups like I remember Jollymon, right?
Jollymon, they're back together. Jollymon is back together
so
doing
Jollymon,
it.
But then I remember Mr. Sargent. He went off onto his own for a while, and there was this great band that he had, this little solo project called Water that I just loved.
Yes,
And
with Carrie from Jollymon. Yeah.
Exactly, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was around that time that I also met Derek.
Yes.
And it's just
the talented Mr. E. is we know.
Yes, exactly. And it was just a very, very, very different world. And this is back when Sebula, if it goes by Sebula anymore, back when Sebula was sporting a big fro of hair. Big fro of hair, almost.
I don't know such a time. I mean, we a big fro of hair.
A big fro of hair. And
I remember something about Park Rose. Something about Park Rose happening.
Sure. I'm not, anyways,
a lot of 38 special. And
that's
can all sing together, my oh my. Yeah, but
Oh no! You're talking about Slade.
Oh, Slade! I love Slade.
Yeah, Slade was a good influence. Anyways, you know what? I'm digressing here. You guys should play some music.
Well, I was just gonna say we need to take a commercial break here, but can we hold you over for the break, Dan? Is that cool?
I'd love to.
Okay, we're gonna pay some bills. We're gonna hold Dan over for the break of our grunge episode. Okay, and let's pay a few bills here with the little of. All right. Dan, are you still there? Can you hear me?
I'm still here, yeah. I'd like to, I'm here.
So, Rich, did you have any questions, or Steve, that you wanted to ask Dan, formerly lead singer of the band WoooKey?
What?
A grunge sci-fi band project we did about 94, 95.
This is before we wanted, I think everyone was wanting the new Battlestar Galactica, but that just didn't happen.
I'd like to point out this is also a very unpopular time for George Lucas's empire. It was, kind of the doldrums. No one really heard anything other than, I think the last movie he'd made at that point was that made-for-TV Ewok special, wasn't it?
No, it was the beginning of the re-release and stuff like that. It was like, here, let me.
Oh no! WoooKey predated the re-release shit. Hell yeah!
Really?
There was nothing going on in 94, 95. Yeah. Lucas was talking like American Graffiti Part 7 or something. Oh, we're live. We are live. Okay.
Live.
So yeah, any questions about this majestic being who lives in Los Angeles now?
Los Angeles.
Yeah, Los Angeles.
Is he the one in California, or is he the one in South Patagonia?
Can you answer that?
Oh, wow, that's I'm in California.
Okay.
He's CIA
I was getting
now,
a
I
little
think.
post-grunge there, I apologize.
Yeah, it's but then everything old is new again. So
That's right. Well, Dan,
Everything new is old again, I should say. Or one or the other. So.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to, and we thank you for joining us, and we're gonna move right along.
I appreciate it, and as we used to tell everybody back then, I think somebody else sings it now, but no guts, no glory.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's a great tune. That's a great
anyways,
tune.
that's a good one, and then but anyways, some crazy lyrics, wonderful time, and if you can get Soine on the phone, you should.
Okay, we'll see what we can do about that. Thank you for calling, Dan. There's a guy that calls in occasionally called Nad. Just wanted to say that these guys sound identical. You guys sound identical. But I'm gonna let you go. We'll hopefully talk to you again soon, and let's take a look at this last clip I have from WoooKey's past. I think it's us doing a cover song of a Quiet Riot song, maybe. But this goes out to you, Adam and Lisa, and happy anniversary. Okay, here we go.
Who wants to hear Quiet Riot?
Anyone want to hear Quiet Riot for the final encore? we wanted to talk about, it's actually also like a couple years anniversary since one of Trench Diggers' big mainstays has been this band called Moses and the Firstborn. We got the chance, Scotty P and I, to do some videos on them, and they got a new album out right now. But you want to talk about grunge? This is probably an example of here we are 20 years later or more, and the kids, these guys are from they're Dutch, and they're pumping out great tunes. They're great songwriters. So this is one that we really enjoyed. It's called Bloodsucker, and we hope you enjoy it. Thanks for joining us.
Say I'm on
finest decorative squash store in the region. At my store, you'll find orange, pale orange, and even yellow striped decorative squash. And of course, we have pumpkins. Decorative squash look great in any house, on mantels, lined up on windowsills, on porch steps, in kitchens, really anywhere. We have lots of books with decorating ideas. Learn to grow your own decorative squash. We have books about that too, plus all kinds of supplies to get you started to grow your own crop. This year, we had a tremendous growing season. We're all excited to be able to offer for sale some of the finest examples of decorative squash for your home decorating needs. We're downtown, across from the Gimler Fountain, or you can call us at 555-1611 if you just want to chat. Hello, Dot's Decorative Squash. Dottie speaking.
And it sounds like we're back. Oh, the techs around here keep leaving the audio monitors up, and it messes things around. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jeff Dodge, and this is the Peasant Revolution Band, and you are watching our special Grunge edition, a celebration of all that is grunge and all that isn't grunge, and you know that gets to a point. So I feel like we've sort of been taking a path here about how like the Wipers sort of influenced the Seattle sound a lot of ways in the early 80s, and grunge, from my understanding, was sort of when punk rock met heavy metal. And there was a lot of metal going on in the 80s, and there was a lot of punk rock. But grunge was kind of when the two forces came together. I don't know how or why exactly. And then there was also experiences with the black community, too. Did you ever see any of the stuff that Ice-T was doing? Ice-T had this thing, Body Count. That was the name of it, Body Count.
You're getting my skepticism there on the combination, because I happen to be thinking like this grunge is a merging of punk and metal. I mean, what an opportunity for the men of your generation.
It was, and we finally were like, I knew in the 80s, like there's all these kind of haircuts and short hair and this and that, but like the mullet came out of grunge, or it was sort of like grunge was almost a reaction to the mullet, was my thought process on the whole thing.
Sure, that was
the mullet, or some parts of the country they call it the moulet. But I sort of have a prototype of it here. It was essentially you would cut all the. It was about party in the front. Well, party was in the back, and business was in the front. That's what the old saying was. Business in the front, party in the back. That's what they'd all the people that were older than us and snorting a lot of cocaine, they'd tell us things like that. And they were really into the mullets, more so than my generation. And I think grunge was kind of like the breaking down of the mullets. And, there was... well, let's just get into it. There was Kurt Cobain, who became a major spokesperson, not only for the generation and in grunge music and rock and roll idol and stuff, but I think he was a spokesperson for Pendleton, wasn't he? Did he work for Pendleton at all? Does anyone know that?
You might be thinking of the Beach Boys.
Oh, Brian Wilson. I'm sorry.
Because they were, I just heard this, while you guys were getting high. I was out front listening to NPR. The Beach Boys were all...
I just want to interject here and make sure that everyone understands we were getting high on life.
High on life. I just didn't have room for that positivity in my head right then. You guys were doing your cheers, and I couldn't handle it. Anyway, heard this article on NPR, and the Beach Boys were almost originally called the Pendletones. Mm-hmm. And that would have taken grunge back, almost a previous 30 years to what we're giving it credit for here. 1961 as opposed to 1991, but I think...
Well, no, you have a point there, because I saw this, the Hendrix Museum had this thing about this, like, Spokane band called the Sonics. Have you heard about them?
Yeah.
The Sonics.
Yeah.
They're supposedly the first garage band.
Right, but they were too fast. So, like, when they would fly over, there'd be these huge booms, and windows would break, and they could only land in certain wait.
I think you're thinking of the Seattle Supersonics and the kind of carnage that Sean Kemp and Gary Payton when they came to town, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stories. Well, not Payton as much as Kemp.
You're talking about a period where if you were a normal civilian and you wanted to see the Blazers, you would have to wait until they were playing in Seattle and go up and see them there, because it was only the elites could get into Memorial.
You know, and you know, Rich, that brings me to a very important point. I'd like to talk about some certain conspiracies while we're on the subject of the Blazers and Kurt Cobain.
Conspiracy theories are to shoot off more and more of those conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories.
And we are back, and
All right.
that damn intern keeps leaving the audio up.
No, that's okay.
I would like to point out one of our great listeners, Katie, pointed out that Rich's mic was kind of quiet, so we've hopefully made the proper adjustments. And thank you for watching.
We missed out on some of my pandering, and wanted to point out that I observed that sort of the blending of punk and heavy metal, as Jeff describes grunge, was a real opportunity for the men of America about 5 to 10 years older than I. Anyway, let's get back to some conspiracies here. I happen to think World War II was just a conspiracy between the Allies to take over the Axis powers.
Allies to take over the Axis powers.
Yeah, they just conspired to defeat the Axis powers.
Like in Axis and Allies, when you've got an industrial complex built in like Paraguay, is that the kind of thing you're talking about?
There's an industrial complex in Paraguay?
I thought there was like a special rule you can use that on, but maybe I'm getting it mixed up with Risk.
I don't know.
So grunge and conspiracies. My conspiracy theory, Rich, is that there's these stories about Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. Here's one conspiracy. Some people say they like met in a country club or something like that, but I heard they met in Portland at the Satyricon, like in did you ever get a chance to go to the Satyricon? I know, Steve, you and I went there. I don't know if ever together that I can remember, but I've heard that we were there together a lot. Did you ever go there, Rich?
I used to buy heroin on 6th, like right around the corner, basically.
You see, that's a whole different world. 6th was, and 7th. Wasn't it 7th? Or was it
Broadway
6th?
is 7th. But I'm not even a native Portlander.
No. There's Northwest 7th. I stroll it all the time. Over by Guilds Lake.
Ooh, now you're pulling rank.
I've revealed what era I'm actually from.
My other top conspiracy, of course, Vanport.
Yes, Vanport is a good conspiracy. Because all these people, I don't know if you ever heard this one, but another Portland conspiracy is about how all these people got trapped in vans in this like port town built by the Kaiser off down by the river, and they flooded out and their vans flooded out. Is that right?
Well, it was really good they were in their vans, though, because the vans just lifted right up.
And it was amazing because I don't even remember vans being around in 1948, but I guess this town was loaded with them.
Yeah, they looked a little different. Many of them had cloth walls along the back.
Okay, but on the other Kurt and Courtney conspiracy I have, there's these rumors that this like investigator, our producer was talking about. His name is Tom Grant.
Yeah, Tom Grant.
Tom Grant was like the manager of Led Zeppelin, wasn't he? Tom Grant. Is that
That
right?
sounds about right. He's kind of a big guy.
Yes,
And
yeah, and
he's
he
a
would
tough
carry
negotiator.
like a cricket thing around and whack
But
ya.
you get him behind a piano, and it's like butter.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a
He's
good.
a
It's
multi-talented
beautiful piano. I've done
individual,
sound
for
for
sure.
him. Great piano player, great Led Zeppelin manager, and also involved in this conspiracy somehow with Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain. I don't know what any of it means, but thank you for watching Conspiracy Corner, and we'll be back.
Conspiracy theories. Start to shoot off more and more of those conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories.
But we're back, and first, let me pay some bills real quick. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be right back.
Stop wasting your money at the dollar store and come to Jimmy Gimler's 97-cent store. I turn my profits from my profitable enterprise, Jimmy Gimler's Suit Rack, into another thriving business for you to enjoy. Save 3 cents on every purchase. We have household items, cleaning supplies, auto parts, even steaks. That 3-cent savings really adds up. Over the course of a year, you have the potential to save $100 for shopping at my store. That's like me giving you $100 to shop at my store, which I'm not gonna do, but you're gonna get the money back over time. I was the 1972 Soup Salesman of the Year. I bring my business reputation into every business I have. I think you'll love my 97-cent store, and I hope you'll visit often.
Live. We're back. was, of course, the song Lithium by Nirvana. Nirvana. I used to call them Nirvana because I was kind of jealous of them, you know. They were like a little older than me and doing a lot better, and they're still doing better even though one of their members isn't even around anymore. But you know, it was cool. I wanted to give you a quick. I worked this up, Rich, for everybody. It's my Kurt Cobain impression. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Okay, you guys ready? Everybody ready? It's my Kurt Cobain impression. I've been working for like all month on this. Here we go. Yeah, your band kind of sucks. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Super good.
Does that work? All right. Okay. Anyway, that's my Kurt Cobain. We're gonna be wrapping things up with like one more song. Before we next episode, we might discuss the tragic end of grunge, or we may never ever bring up grunge again. I don't know this, but grunge happened. It actually, by my count, it died by 96 at the latest. It was pretty much dead. But if you buy my act, Portland, it boomed, and one of the main reasons was this band, Sean Croghan. He had this band called Cracker Bash, along with this other band, Motor Goat. Oh, it was such an amazing music scene in the early 90s here. I cannot help but nostalgize about it, and we're gonna try and do a little Cracker Bash song. So is that okay? Is everybody up for a little? Try and do this early 90s grunge Cracker Bash song called Gresham. But before I do that, I'd like to thank you all for joining us. I'd like to thank everybody for coming here and participating for the live part of it. I'd like to thank my lovely wife, Jamila, is here, and Jamila Hart Entertainment does wonderful catering here. And I'd also like to thank one of my favorite mayors, Mayor Charlie Hales. He's not here. We're hoping one of these days to get him. He's finishing up. Maybe we'll have him as a guest one of these days. So, anyways, but and then I want to thank not only Charlie Hales, but like Sam Adams. You guys remember Sam Adams?
Oh yeah.
Cats, and there's like so many mayors. Tom Potter.
So it's been a wonderful evening tonight.
What are you saying, hey?
Music and banter and some conspiracy theories. It's been lovely.
Thank you. What are you saying?
Say goodnight, Jeff.
Good night, Jeff.